this episode of Ricochet, the Demon Slayer. Ricochet will be slaying demons out of the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and singing softly and tenderly. Jesus is calling. And this land is your land, this land is my land. Even though I don't know the chords on that one very well. And he sets people free. And one day at a time, one day at a time. Oh, but it ain't gonna sound like the TV show though. And the family of God. I love that song. I learned that song in, well, most everything from Church in the Wind. It's Pastor Tiny and Miss Phyllis. We are Phil's Angels. It's pretty tight. And Abraham had issues, right? Man, constant problems. You know, he had 2 wives. Why do you think God put this story in the book we learn from? I mean, come on. And then his own son did the exact same thing he did. You know, this book's for us to learn from. So, and then I'm going to talk about something that's a really touchy subject. You know, I don't really like talking about that kind of stuff too much. I want to just have fun, you know, but I can't all the time do that. You know, I've got responsibilities. So, you know, maybe we talk about humanism a little bit and what a legalist is, or legalism is, kind of how it affects us and stuff. But the main thing is the T word. You know, I don't really like using that word, but, you know, when I was 18, I signed the draft, you know, and so, and if our country's always going to be, you know, at war with the T word, then, you know, we always got to be ready, and if there's anything we can do, I see it fit to read the Bible and learn how to start acting like a proper human being in the first place, and that can help, I'm sure, a lot, you know. Alright, so, let's get started. Genesis chapter 25. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Median, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba, and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Asirim, and Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanok, and Abida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts, and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 160 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost, and died in a good old age, an old man, and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his son Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. The field which is Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass, after the death of Abraham, that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well, Lahairoi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names, according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajah, and Kedar, and Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Mesa, Hadar, and Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns, and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Paddan-aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And like I said, you got to look into some of these words that are said. A lot of people try to say that some of these words, like when the Lord used the word new, that it meant having sex and stuff like that. And it might sound that way, when we read it from a worldly perspective, but when you read it from a godly perspective, you can understand what he meant by new. When you knew someone, like when you hug somebody, you kind of like are getting to know them. And that's kind of like when Jesus said that, if you get to heaven or whatever and he's judging you and he says, I never knew you, that means that he never got to know you. You never got to know him, basically. So, anyway, where was I? It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife. Entreated means that he basically begged him. Let's check this out. Because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. So that must mean that he was entreated of him also. So it means a lot. You guys got to check out that word. That's pretty trippy. Start that over. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And a lot of people think and say that this part of the Bible is where, like, the two major religions of the world like split off and all that stuff, but none of that stuff is any of our business, and we don't need to be tripping on that stuff. In this country, we get to respect everyone, and they get to respect us. It's a two-way street. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And it doesn't really matter which side is which. It shouldn't concern us. If we obey God's word, then it's telling us to be peaceful and just worry about our own personal relationship with him. That's all we need to worry about. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob, and Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he said, His birthright unto Jacob. So he gave Jacob his birthright for like a bowl of soup, because he was so hungry and didn't really think about, what he was really giving up. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes,